So let's talk about the huge misconception that there is out there with OCD around intrusive thoughts and what thought suppression is. I've made a few posts giving my take on how you deal with intrusive thoughts, and I've had people comment and say, isn't that thought suppression? Isn't that a compulsion? Don't know how you could think this, but I know one of the reasons why you want to disagree with me is because most therapists and content creators are telling you the way to deal with intrusive thoughts is to write them down and write them down over and over and over while you're sitting with the anxiety, calling them out as intrusive thoughts, giving your OCD a name like Larry and just saying, hey, Larry, I'm not going to interact with you today, or naming it a monster. If you were on a playground or at school and you had a bully that was bothering you consistently, kicking your backpack and tripping you and calling you a loser, and you decided one day to turn around and go, I'm not going to let you bother me anymore, you can't hurt me, what would that bully do? He'd laugh at you and continue to bother you. And that's what OCD will do. Because every time you're doing this, you are doing a reassurance compulsion, and you are trying to gain certainty by trying to let yourself know that this is an intrusive thought, something you don't need to be scared of. And that is a safety mechanism. That's a coping mechanism. You are trying to gain certainty. You will never be 100% certain whether or not it's an OCD thought or it's not. And that's the whole point of recovery, is being able to take that risk of not knowing whether or not it is and continuing on with your life. So I'm going to give you this analogy, and I hope this puts into perspective what I mean. So if you're on a tennis court and you have a tennis racket in your hand, on the other side of that court is a tennis ball machine shooting tennis balls at you. And we'll call those tennis balls that are getting shot at you your thoughts, your intrusive thoughts. Every time you swing that racket and you hit those thoughts away, or you label them, name it a monster, say, hey Larry, I'm not going to interact with you anymore, you are basically doing thought suppression. That is thought suppression. And it is a big reassurance compulsion, because you are trying to keep yourself safe. What you actually want to do is let those tennis balls hit you everywhere they're going to hit you. And you feel that pain, that anxiety, that uncertainty of not knowing whether or not, and you ride that shit out without doing anything. No labeling, no calling it out, none of that stuff. And you do that consistently. I don't care if it's all day. I don't care if it's all week. The more you do it, the more you will let your brain and OCD know that you don't need to know, and you don't need to be certain about what it is, where the thought comes from, none of that stuff. That is how you gain freedom from OCD, and it's not thought suppression. So for more info like this on how to really recover from OCD, please follow along. My name is Matt, and I am Peacefully Wired.